The 2016 Volvo XC90 recently came out and received a ton of praise immediately and won several prestigious awards. Now, a lot of people worried about the future of Volvo. Back when the auto industry was going down, Ford had to sell off Volvo to the Chinese company Geely, and people worried that Geely would take over and change many things. Fortunately, they adopted a very hands-off approach, simply funding Volvo with a lot of cash and allowing them to do their own thing. And now, the latest result of the newest generation of Volvos, starting with this XC90, is utterly amazing. The XC90 has been around for a while. It took them quite a bit of time to refresh this to the brand new, ground-up, entirely redesigned model. From the exterior to interior and the brand new technology, this thing is truly an amazing luxury SUV. Prior to driving this vehicle, I'd spent a considerable amount of time behind the wheel of a supercharged Range Rover, and God, did I love that thing. I mean, there are so many flaws in that vehicle, but it has the luxury features, and it drives so freaking awesome, and it rides awesome, and it was so fast, and it just had the name and the looks. But after spending some time with this XC90, I'm starting to think this might be better. Ride-wise, this thing is pretty good. This has the optional air suspension, which is pretty much a necessary thing to have, because it does improve the ride. It rides great over these rough roads, and it also allows it to handle not horribly. This is a larger SUV with a high center of gravity, and body roll is actually surprisingly minimized. Now, I can't say anything about the regular stock suspension given the fact I've never driven one, but I think air suspension is an option you need to have. The Range Rover will ride a little bit better, but that thing had just an absurd amount of body roll and just too much motion when you're accelerating and turning. This is much more composed, but also has a good amount. I mean, it feels comfortable when you're driving on the road. But the absolute best part of this car is the interior. They truly took a huge step up in terms of material quality, design, and the technological features available. It's unbelievable. When I first stepped in the car, I was like, holy crap, this is on par with the best luxury cars out there. I mean, material choices are perfect. Leather is all extremely high quality. Wood is beautiful. The actual design itself is sweet. These seats look epic. They're extremely comfortable. The entire screen and display, everything there is top notch. So now, if you think of any luxury feature, this car will most likely have it. 360 camera view, heated and cooled massage seats, heated rear seats, heated steering wheel, heads-up display, auto park. I mean, everything has been included. Again, this is a higher loaded model. I'm driving a T8 Inscription, so it does cost a decent amount of money. But, I mean, compared to the competitors, this thing is on par or better than all of them. I think my favorite feature is, I mean, it's not really necessary, but I think it's awesome, is the Bowers & Wilkins sound system. 19 speakers, 1,400 watts, and it is so good. There's multiple sound settings. You can pick your sound experience. There's like a studio setting, and change intensity and then development. It sounds awesome. My favorite one is the concert hall. When you listen to classical music, it's modeled after the Gothenburg concert hall, which is where Volvo's from. And not the concert hall, just Gothenburg. But it sounds amazing. It actually sounds like you're in an orchestral hall, and like the music is just echoing, and it sounds amazing. It is quite an expensive option though, $2,500, but in a luxury vehicle like this, you've got to spec it. The speakers look beautiful, the grills with the stainless steel, the metal finish with the engraved Bowers & Wilkins, a little tweeter sitting on the dash. It's truly, I think, my favorite option on this entire car, and just listen to any genre of music, it is utterly amazing. Something else amazing this Volvo has is the center touchscreen. Volvo's system is called Sensus, and they implemented a 9-inch vertically oriented touchscreen tablet-like device, and it truly operates flawlessly. It's one of the coolest parts about it is it has an infrared grid on top of it, which means you can use the touchscreen while wearing gloves, which that could be great in the winter when you're wearing gloves. Fluid motions, the graphics are beautiful, it reacts very quickly. I think it is one of the best designed touchscreen infotainment interfaces out there. You have multiple screens on the left. You can go and it'll show, I mean, lane keep assist, you can park itself, you can click, there's a hotkey to the 360 view cameras, and the center screen, it pretty much has your most commonly used features. You have your navigation, your music, your phone, and you can configure the last section to be either, right now I have it set to the sound experience, changing the type of audio I'm getting, or you can change it to show your fuel consumption, your efficiency, stuff like that. It is very well implemented. I think that A lot of automakers struggle to do something like that. In the past, I've usually preferred using a turn knob like the BMW, Mercedes, or Audi. Touchscreens don't always, they lag a lot, but this thing changed my mind. It is amazing. The graphics are perfect, and the reaction time is on par with like an iPad or a phone or something like that. Beyond the center touchscreen, my dashboard is also entirely digital. One big screen, got a speedometer on the left side, a tachometer on the right side. It's reconfigurable. You can change the design themes. It shows you battery consumption information. It shows you your trip information, navigation. Exterior-wise, I would say the XC90 is a little more subdued and understated than some of the other luxury SUVs out there. It is very clean and modern looking, but it doesn't shout, hey, this is a very expensive luxury SUV. It definitely looks good in my opinion. I really do enjoy the way it looks. The styling makes it look a little bit smaller than it actually is dimension-wise, but compared to something like a Range Rover, it definitely does not look as expensive or upscale. It doesn't have the presence that some of the other vehicles in this class have. Do I love it? I do indeed. The headlights are brilliant. I do like the taillights. Some people aren't a fan, but the exterior is they did a very good job by making it modern and not too over the top. It's understated. That's how I describe it. Powertrain-wise, it is fairly complex. I have a 2-liter 4-cylinder that is both turbocharged and supercharged, mated to an 8-speed transmission. In addition, on the T8 model, the one we have right now, it has a electric motor with batteries in the back that powers the rear wheels. That provides another 87 horsepower for a combined total of 400 horsepower and 472 pound-feet of torque. Now, that sounds like a decent amount, which it is. It is adequate, but it doesn't blow me away. It's not like, holy crap, this thing is so fast, as I was reacting to a Range Rover Supercharged, because that thing is absurdly quick. This does the job very well. The transition between battery to a motor, a gasoline motor, could be a little smoother. I don't think that was implemented as perfectly, but when you're in pure electric mode, it is so smooth and refined. It's excellent. I plugged this in to charge a few times, which is quite amusing because I had 2 hybrids in my garage. The XC90 has several drive modes that you control through this little scroll tab thing right here. You can go between, let's see, there is all-wheel drive, there's pure eco drive, which is just most efficient possible. Hybrid is just general everyday use that will go between running the gas motor and only pure electric. Power, everything's all on. You get sporty. It's not very that sporty. That's not the point of this vehicle. And then there is a off-road mode, which I seriously doubt many people that purchase these vehicles are going to actually use, and then you can configure it to yourself. So there's a lot of complexity there, and that leads to one of the downsides that I don't like about this thing. I'm kind of worried about the longevity and reliability and maintenance-wise of a powertrain like this. I mean, turbocharging and supercharging, and then they decided to add hybrid technology into it. That's pretty complicated. So it might, I don't know about how well it'll do in the future, but right now it's pretty cool. I mean, it does get you pretty good fuel economy. Electric range is all right. On a full charge, it'll do between 14 to 15 miles of pure electric driving, and fuel economy combined when you have electric and gas going at the same time is, I think, 53 mpg equivalent. Normal gas engine only is just at 25, which, if you compare it to something like a supercharged Range Rover, is way better. But then this leads to the second gripe that I have. This thing has a tiny fuel tank, 13 gallons, which therefore means your range is rather small. And also, I've noticed you don't quite hit the advertised amount. I don't know if I was driving inefficiently, but I feel like I was doing decently well. It doesn't have a very good range. I'm at a little over 3/4 of a tank, and it's showing 220 miles to empty. That's not great. The Range Rover Supercharged has a fuel tank more than twice the size of this one. It's 27 gallons, over 27 gallons. So 13 is rather small. Would have been nicer, I mean, if they put a bigger fuel tank in. This thing would have had an absurd range. So is the XC90 better than the Range Rover? To me, I'm gonna have to say yes. I would rather pick this over a supercharged Range Rover. As spec, this thing is very loaded option-wise. It's $90,000, and it has all these features that the Range Rover does not have, and it's all implemented in a better way. Where the Range Rover wins is, it does look cooler. It has the name and the prestige associated with that, and it is definitely a lot faster. This thing, though, I mean, the way they designed it, it's just so perfect. Despite those 2 little things I said I didn't like, I honestly like this more than the supercharged Range Rover. Honestly, I think this might be my favorite luxury SUV that I've ever been in. Would I own one? Yes, at some point, this as a daily driver would be perfect. So there you have it. Volvo has not paid us for this. They simply gave us a press car to drive for the week, and I really do love it. All the little features, all the details that they've paid attention to, I think this is one of the best SUVs out there. Just no question about it whatsoever. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. As always, please browse our channel and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook at Vehicle Virgins. Look forward to seeing you next video.